Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Eves. The next time I see you, I will see you out in the garden. And when we see each other, we will be working on kind of tying all the big concepts together that we talked about this trimester. So things about like the warm season versus cool season, how do we care for our garden, the FBI, the pollinators, all those important concepts that we talked about in the garden. We are going to kind of bring it all together and do some tasks and some jobs in the garden to make sure that our garden continues to grow. So we'll be working together as a team to continue strengthening our veggies and plants that are actually doing really well, but we want to make sure that they continue to do well. So the title of this story is called In Our Garden, and that's something I really want to emphasize is our garden is not my garden. A lot of you will often say, Mrs. Eves, your garden this or your garden that, but it's not my garden, it's our garden. And I hope that you can start seeing it that way because without your help, I wouldn't have been able to do what we have going on right now. So thank you for all your help. And I look forward to seeing you in our garden next week. So I hope you enjoy the story. In Our Garden by Pat Zetlow Miller, and the illustrator is Melissa Cruton. Oh, that's right. And this book is very special to me. I was given to it last year by the TK class and Mrs. Parker, thanking me for being their garden teacher last year. So I'm so excited I finally get to read it. Here we go. It's a gray day. Sorry, it's a day. It's a gray day. A breakfast can wait. Don't be late day. I look out my window and see concrete. Steps and stoops, sidewalks and streets. Everything is hard and dull, not like where I used to live. Most days I feel gray too. Homesick, says my mom. So it sounds like the little girl has moved into a new place. But today I have an idea. Something to make this gray place more like home. Just thinking about it makes me bounce. My idea is soft and bright. My idea is green and orange and red and white. My idea is a garden. And that's what happened, boys and girls. About 4 years ago when I had my sustainability club, the idea to start the school garden came out of a group of kids who met after school on Friday. We were learning about the environment and they really wanted to start a garden. So it was really the students' idea and kind of the reason we got a garden going at our school. A garden, asked Kiana. At school? Why, asked Nico. To grow things, I say, like carrots or cauliflower. Oh, says Nico, I like flowers. He looks down. No, I say look up. He does, at the rooftops and clouds. Kiana shrugs. There's no space, Millie. Gardens can't hang from the sky. I feel gray again, until I remember they see what it is. I see what it could be. I see a garden. Where are they thinking of putting a garden? Let's see. We're in class, science class. What a plant needs besides seeds class. But we don't have plants, just worksheet words. I raise my hand and wave it. We need a garden, I say. I tell everyone how I used to live in a tall building more than an ocean away. Oh, so it sounds like she's from another country. I help my family grow food on our roof. Cabbages, radishes, carrots, and cauliflowers, which isn't a flower at all. Well, actually, it is a flower. So wait, so you can grow a garden on a rooftop? Has anyone ever seen that before? It's actually become a really popular thing in big cities where people don't have the space around them on their side, so they grow on the top of them. There's no garden at our new apartment. We don't have the right kind of roof, so we eat store-bought carrots and that don't taste like home. And we all know that food grown in your garden tastes very different than the food that we get at the grocery store. I tell them this school has a fine flat roof, a roof made for a garden. No one says anything, not even Miss Morales. Maybe I shouldn't have shared. Maybe in America, gardens don't grow on the ground. Sorry, gardens only grow on the ground. Then Miss Morales says, to have a garden, we need supplies. Suddenly, everyone has ideas. Isn't that interesting how her idea kind of sparked all these new ideas? Everyone kind of collaborating and working together as a team to come up with a solution for their issue here, which is they don't have the supplies. So I see veggies, seeds, a fence to keep us safe, the world's longest hose. Yes, you do need a hose. Pretty long one sometimes. And just like that, I'm bouncing again. But it takes more than ideas to build a garden. So it takes more than ideas. What else do they need? Maybe turn and tell someone, what else do you need to build a garden? Gardens take work, hard work. Lift high and lug, pull and tug work. Parents and neighbors bring piles of supplies. This will be a garden, asked Nico. He can't see it, but I can. So those of you who have been around at Darnell for about 4 years, you would have seen the construction of our garden. It takes a community. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of hard work to put everything together. So thank you for those of you who were here and did help build our garden. Kiana measures, Miss Morales saws, then we all build. While we work, Principal Bilson talks. She says gardens bring people together. And yes, it does. It is a place where the community can get together. Soon it's time to plant. Kiana wants cabbages. Nico wants cauliflower. He thinks it will look like a daisy. I choose carrots, of course. Soil spills and water. We all make mud. Everyone laughs, even Miss Morales. I'm not sure if this is togetherness, but it's a start. What do you think? Is this togetherness? Is this people coming together to do something as a group? I think so. And every time you come to the garden, I hope we build this sense of togetherness, that we're working together to help our garden. After weeks of watching, our garden is empty. Come on, carrots, I whisper. Be patient, said Miss Morales. Good things take time. Every day, I wish for something green, but there's only brown. And sometimes we have to be patient. Still, there's plenty to do. We measure sunlight and rain. We track the temperature. We spell C-A-B-B-A-G-E, which is cabbage, and C-A-U-L-I-F-L-O-W-E-R, which is cauliflower, and C-A-R-R-O-T, which is carrot. And we read about gardens. Miss Morales talks about roots, sprouts, and germination. You know what germination means. Anyone remember? Yep, it's when the seeds start to come out of the ground and they start to emerge. She says the seeds in our garden are changing. Maybe I'm changing too. Maybe I'm like our seeds, stuck in new soil, hoping to grow. I've almost given up when I see something. A weed? No. A sprout? Yes, Nico laughs and Kiana cheers. I bounce around and find more sprouts. Miss Morales smiles like she's always known that this was a garden waiting to grow. Check out this garden. Our garden. Our high in the sky, thought we'd try garden. Nico pushes a wheelbarrow. Kiana pulls weeds. I water everything and whisper, grow, plants, grow. We used to say that to our plants. Grow, grow, grow. Now everyone wants to see our glorious garden and take some of it home. We fill bags with green and orange and red and white because once plants start growing, they keep right on growing. Miss Morales and Principal Blinson hand out vegetables and tell everyone the garden was my idea. Wow, look at that garden. I look down. Same sidewalk, same street. I look up. Same clouds, same sky. But everything's different. Everything's better. Kiana grabs a cabbage and sniffs Nico's cauliflower bouquet. I find the sunniest carrot and take a bite. It tastes like home, right here in our garden. So, I look forward to seeing you guys next week in the garden, in our garden, and I appreciate all your hard work and help in nurturing our garden to grow just as amazing as their garden. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you soon.